Honorable members, welcome back from the suspension. Clerk, can we continue from where we stopped?
Laying of papers and reports. Motion. No, it was.
No, we were on the votes
Yes.
for the intellectual property, so that's where we're going to continue from. Yes, we have to vote. Honorable members, there was a division on the Intellectual Property Bill 2025 by a motion which was raised by the member for Jara Central and seconded for it to be committed to the Committee of the Whole Assembly. Those in favor of that motion, please raise your hands. The Intellectual Property Bill. Those in favor of the Intellectual Property Bill. Honorable members, order. Where we stop, that's where we are going to continue from. Those in favor of the referral of the Intellectual Property Bill to the Committee of the Whole Assembly, please raise your hands. Count. Those not in favor of the bill to be referred to the Committee of the Whole House, raise your hands. Those abstaining, please raise your hands. Honorable members, the results. Ayes 5, the noes 18, and abstention 0. The motion is lost. Clerk.
Motion.
There is a motion from the honorable member for Bundung Kakunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Order 53E and 68.2 of the standing orders, I rise to move that the bill entitled the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency Amendment Bill 2025 be committed to the Committee of the Whole House.
Any seconder? Majority Leader and Member for Control.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded by a member of the ABC, the Honorable Member for Bundung Kakunda, that the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency Bill 2025 be committed to the Assembly of the Whole House. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, let's proceed.
Motion.
By motion by the member for Lower Salum.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I rise to move a motion. No. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the orders 53E and 68.2 of the standing orders, I rise to move that this bill, entitled Communication Bill 2025, be committed to the Committee of the Whole House.
Any seconder? Member for Jara Central. Okiang Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that by the member for Lower Salum and a member of the ABC for the Communication Bill 2025 to be referred to the Committee of the Whole Assembly. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. There is division called by the member for Upper Salum. Those in favor of the motion for the Communication Bill 2025 to be referred to the Committee of the Whole Assembly, please raise your tags. Those not in favor, please raise your tags. Those abstaining, please raise your tag. Those abstaining, please raise your tag. Honorable members, the results are as follows. Ayes 16, the noes 5, abstention 0, and the ayes have it. The bill is referred to the Committee of the Whole Assembly. Honorable Clerk, let's proceed.
Laying of papers and reports. Reports of the Joint Committee on Public Appointments and Human Rights Standing Committees on Prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025 by the Chairperson.
Yes.
Chair. Please, Co-Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to lead the report of the Joint Committee on Human Rights, Constitutional Matters, and Committee on Public Appointments on
Yes, that is on the prerogative of mercy.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table the report of the Joint Committee on Human Rights, Constitutional Matters, and the Committee on Public Appointments Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025. Honorable Speaker, acknowledgement. The Joint Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters and Committee on Public Appointment expresses its appreciation to the National Assembly for the confidence reposed in it to scrutinize the Prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025. The Joint Committee conveys its gratitude to Honorable Alhaji Mbow, member and sponsor of the bill, for presenting and clarifying the policy rationale and legislative intent underpinning the proposed legislation. The committee further acknowledged the valuable submission and technical assistance provided by the Office of the President, the Ministry of Justice, Attorney General's Chambers, and the National Human Rights Commission. The committee particularly recognized the National Human Rights Commission for its right-based observation, which assists the committee in strengthening safeguards relating to fairness, transparency, and non-discrimination. The Joint Committee also commends the technical staff for their diligence in coordinating stakeholders' engagement, preparing briefing materials, and supporting the clause-by-clause scrutiny of the bill. Honorable Speaker, introduction. The National Assembly at its sitting of 11 July 2025, consider the prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025, a private member's bill tabled by Honorable Alhaji Mbow, and referred to the Committee on the Human Rights and Constitutional Matters and the Committee on Public Appointments for scrutiny and report to report in accordance with the standing orders of the National Assembly 2019. The bill seeks to provide a legal framework and guidance for the exercise of the prerogative of mercy by President pursuant to Section 82 of the Constitution, and to provide criteria for the composition, powers, functions, and secretariat of the Committee on the Exercise of Prerogative of Mercy, together with a petition process and related administrative matters. In discharging its mandate, the committee examined the bill with particular regards to constitutional compliance, human rights safeguards, legal clarity, enforceability, institutional design, and implication for appointments and public accountability. Honorable Speaker, the mandate of the committee, the prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025, a private member's bill tabled by Honorable Alhaji Mbow, was referred to the Joint Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters and the Committee on Public Appointment pursuant to the standing orders of the National Assembly. In accordance with the relevant standing orders, the Joint Committee, 1, conducts stakeholders consultation, including the receipt of written and oral evidence. 2, scrutinize the provision of the bill for constitutional compliance, legal soundness, and policy coherence. And 3, the report to the Assembly with the findings and recommendations, including proposed amendments. Honorable Speaker, to the methodology, during the review of the bill, the Joint Committee adopted a structured and evidence-based approach as follows. A, preliminary briefing from the sponsor of the bill, outlining the policy objective, constitutional foundation under Section 82 of the Constitution, and the intent operational framework. B, consultation with the stakeholders to seek their valuable opinions. C, review of document and position papers presented by the invited stakeholders. D, convey validation meeting where honorable members and support staff of the committee review various submissions and further scrutinize the clauses prepared and validated the report. Honorable Speaker, in terms of the proceeding and scrutiny, we will leave that during the consideration, then we can come up with the recommendations that we have as a committee. So, Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the Joint Committee supports the policy direction of the prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025, mainly to provide clarity and structure the petition and the work of the Committee on the Exercise of Mercy, while recognizing the constitutional nature of the President's prerogative. However, the committee recommends that the bill be adopted subject to technical and substantive amendment highlighted above, particularly those relating to constitutional cross-reference, drafting consistency, terminology, and effect of padding. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, the members of the joint committees are Honorable Benedict M.K. Sise, Chairperson Human Rights, Honorable Suleiman Jammeh, Chairperson Public Appointment, Honorable Omar Dabo, Vice Chairperson of Public, Vice Chairperson, Honorable C.D.S.K. Njai, Vice Chairperson, Honorable Fatoumata Njai, Member, Honorable Alhaji Boy, Member, Honorable Mohammed Kante, Member, Honorable Keba T. Sane, Member, Honorable Suaibu Toure, Member, Honorable Yaya Sanyang, Member, Honorable Fatou Cham, Member, Honorable Abdullah Sise, Member, Honorable Bakari Kebaji, Member, and Honorable Birom J.S. Sow, Member. And also to our subject matter specialist, we have Mrs. Hadi Dande Jabi. The support staffs Of the committee, Mr. Marabi S. Haidara, Director of Committees, Mr. Sini Conte, Director of Table Office, Mr. Mamadou A. M. Ba, Senior Assistant Committee Clerk, Mr. Tony F. Mendy, Senior Table Clerk, Miss Aissatou Sonko, Committee Clerk, Ms. Fatou Sanyang, Table Clerk, Ms. Mary T. Mendy, Research Officer, Ms. Mamboy, Table Clerk, Ms. Senabu Sise, Assistant Table Clerk, and last not the least, Ms. Yama Sise, Intern. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Any seconder? Member for Lower Salem?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motions.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Joint Committee on Public Appointment and Human Rights Standing Committees on Prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, those of you who may wish to take part in the debate may do so now by show of tap. No member. May I now call upon the member to, of course, thank his colleagues.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Joint Committee, we want to thank the members of the whole House for at least understanding the prerogative of mercy, and you, the Speaker, and the entire staff, and equally the stakeholders who were with us to ensure that definitely we seek their opinion as far as the bill is concerned. But equally also, we want to sincerely thank the sponsor of the bill, Honorable Mo, member for Upper Salem, for coming up with this bill. And I think this bill is important, and if it is passed, it will really address some of these issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, honorable members. Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Joint Committee on Public Appointment and Human Rights Standing Committee on Prerogative of Mercy Bill 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, you may proceed.
Report of the Select Committee on Agriculture Study visit to Sonacos groundnut processing factories in Senegal by the chairperson.
I understand is the vice chairperson who will table the member for Fonyi Prefect.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The acknowledgement. The committee would like to thank the Office of the Speaker, Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly, and Managing Director of the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation for facilitating this benchmarking exercise. We would also like to thank the honorable members and clerk of the committee for their active participation, insightful questions, and engagement during the study visit. The committee further expressed profound gratitude to the government of Senegal for creating an enabling environment that allowed the committee to observe and learn from Sonacos operational practice, and to the Sonacos management and staff for their warm reception, details briefing, and patient explanation during the guide tour. Introduction. The Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development of the National Assembly undertook a study visit to the groundnut marketing and processing facilities of Société Nationale de Commercialisation de Olivier du Senegal, Sonacos, factory in Kaolack, which is the largest groundnut processing facility in Senegal, playing a central role in national oil seeds processing and marketing in the Republic of Senegal. The visit formed part of the committee's oversight and learning mandate to embark best practice in groundnut value chain development, agro-processing, and marketing system relevant to the Gambia. The groundnut sector remains a critical pillar of rural livelihood, food security, and export earning in the Gambia. Sonacos, as a learning regional actor in oilseed commercialization and processing, was identified as strategic learning site. The study tour was conducted from Tuesday 13 to Friday 16 January 2026 and was undertaken in line with Memorandum of Understanding signed between the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation of the Gambia and Sonacos of Senegal in March 2025. The visit was consistent with the objective of regional operation and integration within ECOWAS framework, particularly in the areas of border trade. It provides members of the committee with an opportunity to acquire first-hand knowledge on groundnut processing, value addition, and marketing system through direct engagement with Sonacos official and site visit to processing and marketing facilities. Objective of the study tour. The main objective of the study tour were, one, to provide members of the committee with practical exposure to groundnut processing and marketing operation at Sonacos, learn about farmers' engagement, model practicing mechanism, and quality control standard, access value addition by product utilization and export strategy, examine institutional, technical, and commercial model supporting groundnut value addition in Senegal, engage Sonacos management and technical staff on policy regulation and operational framework, identify best practice relevant to strengthening the groundnut sector in the Gambia within a regional integration context, support parliamentary oversight and public policy dialogue relating to agricultural rural development and regional cooperation methodology. The study visit employ a qualitative, observational, and interactive methodology to achieve its objectives. This included prior visiting briefing for members, structure, presentation of National Food Security and Sonacos official face-to-face discussing with Sonacos management, guide tour of marketing, storage, processing, and dispatch facilities, details, observation, and note-taking on operational officers, quality control, and compliance measures and comparative analysis with National Food Security, CPMS, operation in the Gambia. This mixed approach enabled the committee to gather comprehensive first-hand insight into Sonacos system and operation. The composition of the delegates are Honorable Omar Dabo, the chairperson, Honorable Amikoli Vice, Honorable Seni Jawra member, Honorable Lami Jesane member, Honorable Aliu Balde member, Honorable Yaya Sanya member, Honorable Biram JSO member, Honorable Mfale Kora member, Honorable Omar Jame member, Honorable Bakar K. Baji member, Honorable Yunusa N. Ba member, Modu A.M. Ba, secretary to the committee, Mr. Lamin Fofona, National Food Security staff, Mr. Thomas Robert, National Food Security, and the Office of Sonacos. This part explains this year groundnut trade season in the Gambia from 9 January to 2026. Meeting with the official of Sonacos. The delegation held an interactive meeting with the official of Sonacos. In this remark, the chairperson of the committee, Honorable Omar Dabo, informed the Senegalese counterparts that the visit was necessitated by the bilateral agreement signed between the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation of the Gambia and Sonacos aimed at knowledge sharing and cooperation in key technical areas. He emphasized that the visit was intended to provide honorable members of the committee with a deeper understanding of Sonacos operation, which would strengthen the committee capacity to conduct effective oversight over national food security and support the corporation in delivering on its mandate. During the meeting with the delegation, the director of Sonacos Industrial Unit in Kaulak, Mr. Fai Juve, informed members that the Sonacos currently operate 5 industrial facilities across different regions of Senegal, each with specialized functions within the groundnut and enable oil value chain. In Dakar, refining and processing of various edible oil services as a major industrial and strategic site. Diourbel, production and refining activities. In Kaolack, groundnut seed traditional and co-processing operation. Louga, decorticating and sorting of groundnut seeds. Ziguinchor, tributarization of groundnut seeds and related processing activity. Mr. Juve emphasized that this decentralization industrial structure enables Sonacos to effectively cover major production zone, improve logistics and enhance value addition within Senegal groundnut sector. Juve further explained that Sonacos operate a public-private partnership (PPP) model under which licensed private businessmen, authorities by Sonacos, purchase groundnut directly from farmers. These private operators functions within regulated framework set by Sonacos, ensuring compliance with prescribed quality standard pricing guidelines and delivering obligations to designated Sonacos facilities. This PPP arrangement enhance farmers' access to market, improve crop evocation efficiency, and allow Sonacos to leverage private sector capacity while maintaining oversight and quality control. Issue raised by the honorable members and response to Sonacos. During the discussion with Sonacos official, honorable members shall clarify on groundnut cleanness standard and measures to prevent aflatoxin contamination, particularly for groundnut delivery by licensed businessmen using trucks. In response, Mr. Juve explained that Sonacos placed strong emphasis on the purchase of clean groundnut to ensure compliance and systematic sampling and screening procedure is applied to every truck loaded of packed groundnut bags delivered to the factory. Specifically, 6 bags are sampled per truck, 2 bags taken from the top of the whole load, 2 taken when the truck is half loaded, and 2 taken from the bottom. These samples are then screened to assess the level of cleanness. Mr. Juve further informed the delegation that Sonacos apply a tolerance threshold allowing maximum of 2% of dust, dirt, pebbles, and other foreign substance, even though the government paid on acceptance 0.816%. Delivered exiting these thresholds are subjected to contractive measures in line with Sonacos quality standards.
Honorable member, please summarize.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, I want to explain here where the Senegalese government also normally pay 305,000 per metric ton, while in the Gambia we pay 38,000 per metric ton. The director also explained that the Prime Minister of Senegal recently visited the Kaolack facility underscoring the high-level political commitment to the sector. He further revealed that the government has allocated 25 billion CFA from its support of the groundnut oil seeds sector. They also take us around from one place to another. And in the recommendation that the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock Service and Food Security through the National Food Security should strengthen cooperative product marketing society, SECO, to procure and improve efficiency while at the same time licensing private buyers to operate under national food security oversight. 2, that the ministry through national food security should ensure that quality control is enhanced through investment in laboratories and screening equipment at depots, accompanying by systematic sampling and testing protocol to ensure clean and aflatoxin-free groundnut. 3, that the ministry through national food security should ensure that pricing mechanism for farmers is standardized to provide fair compensation and predictable income, while incentives such as CPMS commissions should be maintained to encourage timely delivery and compliance with quality standard. 4, that the ministry through national food security should ensure that infrastructure development, including upgraded depot, weight brim, storage facilities, and mobile selling unit is upgraded, which is critical to handle increased value and reduce post-harvest loss. 5, that the ministry through national food security must ensure that capacity building and knowledge sharing is promoted through training for depot staffs, CPMS personnel, and private traders, as well as exposure visit and learning exchanging with regional operations like Sonacos. 6, that the ministry through national food security should ensure that logistic and transport support is strengthening by improving flood and river transport system to facilitate efficiency evacuation of groundnut, particularly during pack season. 7, that the government should ensure that adequate support in terms of financial and technical assistance is ensured aligned with national trade and agricultural policy to prioritize the revelations of the groundnut sector as strategies, rural development and export initiative. That the ministry through national food security must ensure a robust monitoring and evaluation use ERP system and regular assessment of depot operation, quality standard, and processing efficiency, which is essential to identify and address operational gap and sustain engagement. Honorable Speaker, at 9, we change that one also. Can I please read? That the national food security should adopt 1% threshold on dust and foreign material in groundnut from SECOS. We change that place. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the study visit to Sonacos provided valuable insight into an integrated and structured approach to groundnut marketing and processing. They express oversight of a practical lesson that, if adopted appropriately, can contribute significantly to revitalizing the Gambian groundnut sector and enhancing rural development. Furthermore, the study tour was timely and highly beneficiary. It enhanced the committee understanding of best practice in groundnut processing and marketing and provided practical lessons that can support the committee's legislative and oversight responsibilities. The knowledge guide will contribute meaningfully to policy discussion and recommendation aims at improving agricultural development in the Gambia. I beg to move.
Any seconder? Member for Lower Salu?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion, and I want to take part on the debate and very precise and shortly. Honorable Speaker, I must thank the Office of the Clerk and the members of Parliament and the clerks of those committees involved, and the Minister of Agriculture that give us this. What are you laughing? Honorable Speaker, what is happening in our country doesn't exist in other parts of our neighboring countries. The government of the day, we must thank the government of the day for empowering the farmers in this country. Honorable Speaker, in a case study in Senegal, the government doesn't involve in buying groundnuts from the farmers. Yes, the policy will base on the government, whereby the amount of pricing of the groundnut per kilo or per ton, that policy will come from the government. But the buying and selling of this groundnut must come from the private sectors. And these private sectors are regulated by the government. But in our case, the government will put monies and buy groundnut and give pricing, give fertilizers to the, subsidize fertilizers to the farmers. But in case study, in Senegal, it doesn't happen like that. The government of the day, we must thank the bold step that they have taken to safeguard the farmers. But, Honorable Speaker, in this case, I think the case study that we have done in Senegal should apply to our country. Basically, whereby the private sectors, because they have even started it, where they give licenses to private sectors. You understand? All this boarding, the dust and the cells, stones down there, you understand? It's controlled by the private sectors. If you bring a groundnut that is dirty, and in fact, the government will even put a sanction on you if there's a number of tons that you get in dust. You being the trader or the private trader, you will send back to get a clean groundnut. If you don't do so, they are charged on that dust. Honorable Speaker, I think our government also should stand in that way, whereby the company will take charge, and again, we allow the private sectors to trade the groundnuts, whereby the government will stay and articulate and control the policies and of that trading citizen. Honorable Speaker, I'm a member. I cannot go or waste the time of the plenary, but then the committee also proposed an amendment, whereby if you permit to read, then I can read, and we can add it in the report, and when we are adopting the report. If you permit me, Honorable Speaker, because recommendation 9. Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, the committee agreed, we agreed as a committee, because it was an oversight, that we want this August House to allow us to make this amendment, because recommendation 9, where the member read, we will delete it, and there's a caption that we want to propose to the amendment. If you allow me to read it by my phone, then I can able to read it. And oh, okay.
Please go ahead.
Then member says to save time, then we can write it, and we ask the clerk to write it, then to give it to the committee chair to incorporate in our report. On that note, I submit.
Now, I remember.
Yes.
Is that bulky?
No, it's not much bulky, but
How many pages?
no,
How many pages?
no, it's less than a page.
Yeah, please read it.
Then okay, thank you very much. Then I will use my phone to read, Honorable Speaker. Yes, Honorable Speaker, the proposed amendment on the recommendation 9 by removing the entire word and replacing it with this one that I'm going to read. That that the ministry through the NFSPMC should establish the enforcement of penalties mechanism whereby groundnut suppliers, private buyers, and CMPS delivering groundnuts containing foreign materials such as sand, dust, stone, cells, and other contaminants exceeding a threshold level to be determined by the corporations shall be subject to fine or administrative sanctions. Such sanctions may include suspension or banning the supplier from participating in groundnut trading season. For a specific period, these measures will serve as a deterrent against deliberate alterations, promote compliance with quality standards, and safeguard the integrity of the groundnut value chain. Madam Speaker, I submit.
Let's vote on this first. Honorable members, it has been moved. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Agriculture Study visit to Sonacos groundnut processing factories in Senegal. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members who wish to take part in the debate may do so by show of tag, beginning with the member for Controller and Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, that's why I said earlier on, thank you very much for giving the floor, that let the member keep the amendment, because in legislation, you don't legislate law and also give the reason, the outcome you want to address. You can put the sanction there, but not say these just words addressing so and so in law. So we can look at the drafting process, the text itself, so that at appropriate time, they can forward it to the office of the clerk. When we are about to do constitutional stage, then we can insert it there. But the way it's read, it has even given intent that.
Majority Leader,
It's a report.
on a bill.
Yeah, it's a report.
It's study tour.
It's a report.
Allow me learn. You know, they are making recommendation now.
No, you know, you're talking about
I'm coming.
piece of
The
legislation.
standing order says that
No.
in the constitutional state of a bill, the report of the committee shall be considered. You understand? Now,
Majority Leader, please take your seat. Majority Leader and member for Cantora. Order, Majority Leader. Majority Leader, I'm addressing you. Please don't entertain your deputy. No, this is not a report to a bill. This was a visit. This, yes. So it's not for a legislation. Continue. The member for Joshua, you have the floor.
Thank you very much.
okay.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And thank you to the committee for the tour that they went for in Senegal. Honorable Speaker, I would have to ask a few questions before I go further. Yes, there was a study tour. For me, the study tour should have been, part of the study tour should have been members of the Senegalese parliament to join our government parliament to learn best practice. How do they do oversight on others? They went on a study to Sonacos. For what? When it comes to operations, it is the government food security to go and learn the way they do our operations.
No,
If I'm coming.
Honorable member, the study tour was not the parliament, the Committee on Agriculture of the Gambia to the Committee of the Senegalese Parliament of Senegal.
Can you allow me to learn, please?
No. You can
Allow
go
me
to
to
study
learn,
tour in
please.
any institution. This
Allow
study
me to
tour
learn,
was
please.
not on. Please, when I'm speaking, you don't use your mic. So this study tour was in from the Parliament of Senegal. They went to Sonacos.
Point of order.
Yes, thank you. Please go ahead. Continue, Honorable Member.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
There's a point of order by the member for Lower Salem.
Honorable Speaker, arise orders 29-1. Every member shall restrict his or her observations to the subject under discussion. Honorable Speaker, here the members of parliament went for a study tour, not particularly going to see our counter members of parliament. No, the idea was we went to a company.
Oh, no, don't make a statement. Thank you. Honorable members, the order from the member for Lower Salem is sustained. Please, member for Joshua, you are rising on the subject matter.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on the subject matter. This is about Sonacos of Senegal. What is their responsibility? Let's be very honest here. Come on, please. Agricultural member, keep quiet. This is your own show.
Honorable member for Joshua, no, you can.
Yes, please. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member for Joshua.
Am I giving the floor or I should sit down?
You know when the speaker is speaking, you should take your seat.
I'm asking, should I sit down or am I giving the floor?
Sit down. Honorable member for Joshua, please don't address them. Address the speaker. Don't engage in quarrel with them. Please. Please continue.
Honorable Speaker, I'm not quarreling. But if they have more money, you should have stopped them. Because they know I'm going to touch them, they have more money because they are members. Honorable Speaker, the way I'm seeing things and the way things the way I think is different. They want to study to Sonacos, the committee, for what best practice. It's not GGC that is going there. Who are the implementing body? It's not the members. The implementing body is the food security is the one doing the implementation of this product. If you go there to learn, it should be either with the government food security, go and then see what Sonacos is doing. We apply the same thing in the Gambia. What are an oversight body? We want to go to Sonacos to learn what? What are we going there to learn for? The one doing the oversight is for a reason. If you are doing oversight on a body, you go in there to see what the way Senegal is doing. But if you are going to Sonacos to learn the way Senegal is operating, it should have been GGC with the committee to go and see what the way they are doing things and advise GGC on that.
Honorable member, please. Point of order. Honorable member, there was a point of order, and I rule on that. I want you to abide by that. Honorable member, please abide by that. And when you look at the constitutional provision, section 109, work of committees, committees can go on a study tour or benchmarking for best practice to go to any institution. And once they learn, they come back to Parliament, and in the event of those bills, because parliaments make recommendations to institutions, and in our service of enacting law, the best practice that you have seen for yourself or what you have learned, you can ensure that those things are in our provisions, are captured in the report and also during consideration stage. That is why parliamentary around the world, they go on benchmarking and study tour on visits on various institutions for them to learn, so that in their oversight, we also provide those recommendations on institutions for implementation and or form part of bill that they would enact. So I don't think it was a mismatch or it was not in the best interest of the committee. Please, I want to urge you, just go straight to the report and forget about that part, please.
I think you are misquoting me. You are misquoting me. Yes, we are new, but we are aware. What I'm saying is very clear.
No, don't go back.
I'm coming.
No, please. Honorable member, just continue, please. Are you done? Member for Upper Salem, you have the floor.
Merci beaucoup, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable. And I think we must thank the committee and also the National Food Security Institution for such a wonderful visit. You know, what we do across the region, I think it's important that we try to find out what's happening in other countries. I remember a few weeks ago, when the government of the Gambia announced the price of groundnuts, everybody seems like hell broke loose, and they were saying all kind of things about why the government of Gambia is giving this price and not giving the other price. And forgetting that everything that the institution is doing is actually pre-finance. And pre-finance in buying these granules in the Gambia is very expensive because first, if you're using commercial banks, we have very, very high interest rates. Now, when you look at this report, it's actually telling you that Sonacos actually is a PPP, which is a public-private partnership. Essentially, the government is not actually taking money from the national coffers to give them money to go and buy. But in the Gambia, it's actually completely different. And that's the reason why I think, Honorable Speaker, we need to continue to support this institution because of what they need is capital intensive. Now, the fact that we have given them almost 300 million in the last budget, so they can recapitalize, I think we need to do more in this coming budgetary session. Because access to finance in the Gambia is very, very expensive because of most of what we have is commercial banks and microfinance institutions. And when you look at the interest rate, they are in double digits. Because we understand why, because the cost of funds by these commercial banks also is very high. So that's the reason why we need to do all what it takes to ensure that we get enough financing so that they can actually turn around their operations. Because when you look at them, for the past 20, 25 years, in fact, the name actually has kept changing. What they're doing keep changing from the previous two governments until now. But yet still, they're yet to turn a corner. But I'm glad that now we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. And I think this visit by the parliament in Sonacos actually has shed very, very clear light on how its operation is done in Senegal. Now, the fact that also our own institution also, which is the National Food Security, is actually processing some of the granules, making them into cakes, I think this is a step in the right direction. Because value addition in agriculture is very, very important. Because otherwise, the cost or the price that you will get at the end of the day will be really very limited. Honorable Speaker, I think the only thing I would add is that we need to work together to ensure that we have very high yield seeds for our farmers. When that happens, you're going to see that we'll be able to get better pricing, and above all, the issue of aflatoxin also could be reduced. Because again, the presence of aflatoxins in our grounds actually it has a negative effect in the pricing as well, particularly in the world market price. So when you see the testing being done by Sonacos at a very high level to ensure that they try to eliminate it as much as possible, I think the same can also be done in our own institution here, where we'll be able to ensure that we have granules or we have products that are aflatoxin free. So we want to thank once again the committee for going out to know exactly what's happening in our neighbor, and above all to ensure that the price that they have across the border and the price they have in the Gambia, you look at it, you can actually very, very, very comparable. But above all, the government of the Gambia is providing a very, very, very high discount in terms of fertilizer compared to the other region. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The member for Lower Florida West, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I join my colleagues to thank the committee for the study tour, and it was very informative. During the study tour, they identified the role of the private sector. Once the private sector grows, it's lessen the burden on government. And they have given us a good history of the transformation of how involvement of the private sector. And then we also hope that in the recommendation, I was trying to see what strategy do you think the Ministry of Agriculture and the government would try to emulate and ensure that the private sector is well enticed to make sure that this bigger burden of subsidy would also come down. And I also thank them for highlighting that in Senegal, it is the government that lands in these private people to be able to do business. And these are things that we have to bring in. And not recently, we just enacted a bill which highlighted that the import and exporters must get lancing. So meaning it's like it was in conjunction from your tour, we learned these things. And I also want to thank the leadership, because if you look at the sales of groundnut, Gambia, we are paying more than any in the sub-region, because we are paying at least 38,000, whilst the next closer to Gambia is about 35,000. This is telling you how the agenda of the plight of farmers into the current administration. And we thank the leadership, the Ministry of Agriculture, and we want to also thank the National Food Security Corporation for going with these people, identify some of these challenges so that when they come, we are going to improve better on this, what is happening on the other side. I remember that some countries also come on study tour here. Like I want to give an example of Rwanda. Rwanda came to this country to learn about the primary health care and also the IFMIS system, and they also improved. Today is a model. So we want that the study tour that you people have gone to do, we will look at it and improve better so that other countries can come and relearn from us. And in short, I just want to tell the National Food Security, yesterday, I was lucky to have 15,000 tons of rice, which I distributed to my communities, because we are a farming community. And we are working towards the drive, ensuring that there is food sufficiency. And we are going to do that, inshallah. So I thank the committee, and I'm very grateful. Thank you. I have one.
The member for Nyamina West, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chair. I also want to join, Speaker. I want to join on the debate as I am a member of the committee and I benefited on this trip, meaning I was part of the committee to go and have first-hand information on how Sonacos operate. I will thank my Deputy Chair for presenting ably the report, and also I thank my able Chair who is not present, and all other members of the committees. I thank the Office of the Clerk, and also the National Food Safety that we went together with. My first observation will be, I will refer to the objectives. I will just want to dilate on a bit on the objective, and also with regards to the key observations that we came along with from Senegal. Referring to the objectives, where you have the main objectives of this study were to examine institutional, technical, and commercial models supporting groundnut value addition in Senegal, and as much as to practice and replicate it here in the Gambia. The whole thing was geared for us as members of parliament who are expected to support this institution and the ministry when they are on cry of financial muscle and support at the policy levels on making laws, so that we can have first-hand information on how Senegal transform on processing and adding value to these products, so that they will not go out and the products are sold within the country and the sub-region. This was very beneficial, and a lot of knowledge were gathered, encouragements, and that's why you hear and see us now. Since this is acquainted in us, we are very much ambitious to help the ministry and especially the institution to transform to that direction. And in that case, we have learned the much support that they are receiving from, that the Senegal Sonacos have received from their government. We know we are also doing well to the ministry and to this institution, but this will help us to be able to sensitize each other, the members, so that whenever issues of that nature arise, we don't hesitate. The other issue also is that to also talk to the, or encourage the ministry, that is the Ministry of Agriculture, to support this institution on transforming, particularly on the PPP, to give license to private stakeholders, so that they will be stakeholders between them and the farmers. That will lessen burden, as my previous speaker said. This will help lessen burden of government, as we all know that government is doing a lot in the agri sector, a lot of financing is going there, but the question is where the result. Perhaps a lot of subsidy is going to the agriculture, but the result is the problem. We are not, people are asking the result. Much is going, but the result is not as much as we expected. So perhaps the government will have to relinquish some of these to private stakeholders to come in between them and the farmers, so that the burden will be less on the government. Then, because if you go to Sonacos, according to the report, the Sonacos is not doing much expenses on the sectors. With contrary to the Gambia here, there are a lot of expenses on the sectors. So there is no SECO that is between the government, that is the institution, and the farmers. So now the private lancing owners are going directly to the grassroots to buy groundnut and bring direct to the institution, whereas now the institution will just be a buyer, and then no much expenses is within the institution. All the transport, all the other expenses, and all other mechanism is done by the lancing owners. So this was geared to sensitize us, open our minds, so that whenever the ministry and the institutions come for a support and help from us, we are geared towards the transformation to that direction, so that we will not hesitate. So I will also plead to members, we work to this direction with the institution and the ministry. And I will also advise the ministry to take a giant step on this transformation, so that the institution will reach to where we aim into. Thank you.
Thank you. The member for Janjambure, you have the floor.
No, I decline. I just wanted to observe our colleague then.
All right, thank you. The member for Jara West, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I wanted not to debate on this, but I have to add my voice to emphasize how important was this tour to Sonacos. This tour was conducted with the committee and staffs of National Food Security and Management Corporation. We are talking about recapitalization of National Food Security and Marketing Corporation, and then we find it very difficult to have this recapitalization. So if we go to Senegal, we learn what they are doing, and then our people now are moving to another level. When I say to another level, is that they are now moving to turn our groundnuts to produce oil that we can eat in this country, and also export, which Sonacos is doing. So we have to go there, the committee and staffs of the corporation, to know how they are doing it, which is very, very important. We can see when we come back here, we have started decapitalization, but it's still not enough for them. We will do a lot so that we can reach at that level or close to the level of Sonacos, which is very, very important. We have seen that this corporation, they will need minimum of 50,000 metric tons. Minimum, they will need that. And then it's almost $35 million. That plan is constructed, the money involved is almost $35 million. So we need to work hand in glove with the corporation so that they can have what they need, and we are the only people who can support them, because the national budget is here where we divide it. So that is very, very important. This committee is like other committees. The monitoring committee going with GPA, the FPA committee going with Central Bank is the same thing. There is nothing different in this. So let's understand, we are all in one idea, that is to how to see we have our groundnuts turned to oil that we can also use, like Senegal is doing. We have seen how much they have given to Sonacos. The Prime Minister visiting Sonacos, their government putting that money to Sonacos, that is very, very important. So let's also do the same thing and help our people and help our farmers. That's my contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Member for Tumanna, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Anyway, I don't have much interest to contribute, but then I think it is also important for me to add my voice. Honorable Speaker, to benchmark, I think it is very, very important, because it gives us understanding, deep understandings of what is happening in other jurisdictions. And in this particular case, definitely the members that are part of the trip enjoy a lot of understanding and know-how
That is, it inspires us to definitely support our national food security, because the government of Senegal, this is what they did until Sonacos is where Sonacos is standing. So the same thing implies to us here also. When we also give support to national food security, definitely speaking, we will definitely be in a better standing. And this is very important, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because we have been talking about recapitalization of the GGC. So therefore, to inspire us, the members need to see something somewhere that will inspire us to, so that we can also go in for giving the money. So I think this is very important. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to take notice and leave.
Thank you. Honorable members, may I now call upon the mover to respond to issues raised and wind up the debate.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. And I would like to thank all the honorable members that debated. I didn't have much to respond here, because I can say all the points that I supposed to respond was clarified by fellow honorable members. Such like going to Sonacos is something that I definitely want to explain, to be clear to the people, especially my fellow honorable member, who is my son, the son of Joshua, that Sonacos is definitely doing a great job that our national food security is not actually doing. In the national security here, we normally process, we add value on our groundnut, but the oil we process here, we stop at a crude oil. Okay, no problem, Honorable. We process only crude oil. And we definitely want to pass that level. Right now, Sonacos, they process oil at a finished product, package it, and in fact export it. But that is what we wish to do in the Gambia here. The sector of the national food processing here in the Gambia, that's GGC, they're doing a great job compared to the price that they normally give it to our farmers per ton. Senegal is not doing that. But we also learned that the Senegalese government has sponsored that Sonacos with a huge amount of money. And the money, if we did not go to that place, when we come back and GGC requests that billion, we would have refused, because we will not know the amount of money that required to reach at that level of processing. So, Honorable, I would definitely want to thank the National Assembly member together with National Food Security for the great job they are doing to this country, but I wish for them also to at least support the private businessmen with the strict laws, the strict recommendation given by the committees for them to abide by that, so that we can have clean groundnut without aflatoxin. Thank you so much. I beg to move.
Honorable members, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Agriculture study visit to Sonacos groundnut processing factories in Senegal. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not, with amendment, those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, we may proceed. Honorable members, I'm not so Clerk, we may proceed.
Lane of papers and report. Report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman, and IEC on the committee's visit to the Parliament of the Republic of Senegal by the chairperson of the committee.
Chairperson.
Thank you very much once again, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table the report of the study tour to the Republic of Senegal by the Select Committee on Regional Government, IEC, and Ombudsman. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I will try to summarize it so you can take note, okay? So, Honorable Speaker, to the acknowledgement, the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, IEC, and Ombudsman and Religious Affairs wish to formally express its profound appreciation to all institutions and individuals whose invaluable support and cooperation contributed to the successful undertaking of the study tour to the Republic of Senegal. The committee extends its sincere gratitude to the leadership and honorable members of the Assembly Nationale de Senegal for the warm reception accorded to the delegation and for facilitating the high-level engagement with the relevant sectoral committees. Honorable Speaker, the committee further acknowledged the cooperation of the government of Senegal, particularly technical officials and administrators, who provided detailed briefing on institutional framework governing infrastructure, planning, environmental sustainability, cultural heritage preservation, and decentralized religious administration. The insights shared on Senegalese integrated planning model and the operational structure of its decentralized Hajj Commission were immense value and practical relevance. Special recognition is accorded to the Embassy of the Republic of the Gambia in Dakar and the Embassy of the Republic of Senegal in Banjul for their diplomatic facilitation and logistical coordination, which has ensured seamless execution of the visit. Their support reaffirmed the enduring fraternal relationship between the two sister republics. The committee equally accord its appreciation to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly and the Committee Secretariat for the meticulous planning, documentation, and administrative arrangement that underpin the delegation effective participation. The professionalism of the support staff reflect the institutional maturity of the National Assembly, its commitment to strengthen parliamentary diplomacy. The committee also acknowledged the continued support of the leadership of the National Assembly of the Gambia for prioritizing regional cooperation as a strategic pillar of parliamentary development. Such engagements are not ceremonial, they are investment in institutional learning, oversight, enhancing, and policy innovation. Honorable Speaker, the executive summary. This report presents the outcome of the study tour undertaken by the Select Committee on Regional Government, Land, Independent Electoral Commission, Ombudsman, and Religious Affairs to the Republic of Senegal in October 2025. The visit was conducted within the framework of strengthening parliamentary diplomacy, enhancing institutional capacity, and promoting structured knowledge exchange between the two sister republics. The study tour sought to consolidate interparliamentary collaboration and benchmark best practice in areas of direct alignment with the committee's mandate. The delegation held comprehensive engagement with the Assembly Nationale de Senegal and its sectoral committees responsible for urban and regional planning, sustainable development, and ecological transition, decentralization, law, labor, and human rights, culture and communication, as well as Senegalese Hajj Commission, Delegation General du Pèlerinage. This interaction provides practical insight into Senegalese legislative oversight mechanism, institutional coordination models, and policy implementation strategies. A central observation arising from the engagement was Senegalese integrated approach to infrastructure planning and environmental sustainability. Urban renewal, housing development, and transport infrastructure are aligned with the ecological transition policies, supported by structured interministerial coordination and active parliamentary scrutiny. The alignment between development planning and sustainability objectives reflect a coherent governance framework that embeds environmental consideration into national policy architecture. The delegation further examined Senegalese decentralization framework, which is grounded in legal reform granting substantive autonomy to local government authorities, reinforced by physical transfer mechanism and coordinated oversight structures. The role of parliamentary committee in monitoring decentralization, safeguarding human rights, and promoting labor standard was noted as robust and proactive with oversight tools including inquiries, field visit, and structured stakeholders engagement. The study tour also yield significant insight on community participation and cultural governance. Senegalese approach to cultural heritage preservation coupled with strategic communication mechanism within parliament, strengthen civic engagement and public trust. The permissibility of local languages in parliamentary deliberation was observed as an inclusive measure that deepens citizen participation in democratic process. The committee identified several cross-cutting lessons, including the importance of strong institution coordination, legislative independence, structured inter-committee collaboration, and sustained capacity building for members and committee staff. Shared challenges were acknowledged, particularly in relation to resource constraint and the need for strengthening civic education. Honorable Speaker, to introduction. Yes. The Select Committee on Regional Government Land in an IEC Ombudsman and Religious Affairs of the National Assembly of the Gambia undertook study tour to Senegal to engage with the National Assembly of Senegal and learn from their rich experience in governance, urban planning, infrastructure, Hajj affairs, education.
Honorable Chair, you are saying introduction now. What were you doing since you started?
That was the executive summary.
Subhanallah.
So the objective of the visit, Honorable Speaker, the main objective of the study tour include: 1, exchange best practice in the governance and management of urban and regional planning frameworks; 2, understand Senegalese institutional setup for housing and infrastructure; 3, learn about the operational structure of Senegal's Hajj Commission and its coordination with relevant ministries and other stakeholders; 4, promote collaboration between the two national assemblies on sustainable development, ecological transition, and interparliamentary diplomacy. Honorable Speaker, during our stay there, the one activity, we met the Committee on Regional Planning, Urban Planning, Housing, Infrastructure, and Transport. We also met the Committee on Sustainable Development and Ecological Transition.
Honorable members, we lack quorum. I'm told by my assistants that we lack quorum. What we can do, honorable members, the rest of the reports, they are all environment, and then the motion. So if you want us to break for 10, 20 minutes, if you can come back, then the next reports, we do it one, or you want us to continue, it's up to you. Deputy Majority, do you want to? Yes, honorable members, what are your honorable members, then we will, it's now 2 minutes to 2 or 3 minutes to 2. It's now 2 o'clock. We can break for prayer break for 20 minutes. Is that okay? Please let's endeavor to be here by 20 past 2. Is that okay, honorable members?
Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Just
Yes. Okay. Then I was just suggesting we just finish up with this report. Then we can go for break.
We cannot continue.
So
now, honorable members, the House is suspended for 20 minutes and we shall resume 2:21. The House now suspended.